Okay, LeanView tutorial 7, the last of the tutorial segments. I'm going to follow this one up with a critique, an end critique of LeanView. But putting it all together, how do you make these simulations work? Well, over in the bottom left corner, I dragged this up here, but normally in the bottom left corner is the map properties, and in the bottom right corner is the value path. These two things are needed. Input data through here, and then at the simplest, all you need is one process in it. You can put more stuff in, but this is the minimum it needs to run. So let's go ahead and look at the value stream map properties. And we have a bunch of tabs here, and I'm just going to go through them real quick. General. All of this is text. There is no data. There's no numbers here. Demand. This is where you actually put things in that make sense. Here's your product 1, product 2, product 3. Product 1, in a 40-hour period, so a standard work week, you need to produce 500 units. And the price is $250. This is the total price of all of these product 1. Product 2, you need 600 of them for $500 a piece, and then you got the Primo Deluxe Lamborghini Edition product number 3. You only sell 10 of those a week, but you need, they're $12,000 a piece. It basically adds up the quantity you need, divides it by the time, and that's your tack time. That's simple arithmetic. And you can say product family, you can change that. Your demand factor, you can increase it or decrease it. Say in the late fall, you might increase it a lot to make sure that you have enough for the Christmas rush, etc. Material work in progress. This really doesn't affect if you don't have any materials, if you don't have any inventory that you're keeping track of. You can leave this blank. This does not enter in except for the WIP calculations for Lean, as basically you have money sitting around as work in progress. The longer and the more expensive it is, and the longer it sits there, the more you waste. Work time, you can change it. Let's say maybe we have 2 shifts and we'd run 16 hours a day, let's say 7 days a week, and days per year, blah blah blah. This doesn't affect really much of your calculations other than long-term kind of stuff. Workbook, this just affects where it goes to in Excel. We don't need to deal with this. Options, this is just options for time and blah blah blah. I haven't used this at all. Event, if you're doing a Kaizen event, what is your mission? What is your objectives? What is your scope? Those are things to very clearly state, but it does not affect the data that you get from it. It is all management kind of things that for an engineering purpose you might need, but not necessarily. If you're trying to find data, you're not going to need this tab. So let's go ahead and save this and click over here to process. I just set up this process. It shows there's one person working on this line. Starts with, ends with. I'm just going to assume that you saw the process tutorial. Here we go, 5 hours of manual time and 3 hours of automatic, 50% value add time, and when it all calculates out, you have time per unit and attack. What do you know? They match. Oh, that's because I set it so that it would, the 200 quantity that you need pretty much matches the tack. Why the tact ratio? That's just because you have multiple ones coming out at the same time. You have the 200 concurrent units and it's 200, so it does match. Why that doesn't take into account the concurrent units, I'm not sure, but it doesn't. So if we can change it, let's say we just do 222. And hit enter, and it'll reflect it down there. In this, I don't have any pieces. It doesn't use anything. Somehow it just magically comes up with all of this waste. That's later. If we want to add waste for different things, get that muda out of the way. Station, we can force a tact for this station, but we don't need to. And then the notes, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to go ahead and save it, and we're going to exit this just so I can show you. Once you have your process, maybe you have a ton of customer, supplier, push it transports, maybe you have some expedited transports over here, warehouses, all this. Then you go to your value path. Define a value stream path. All you do is you click on this little button. This is very important. Record value path. And you have a little macro. And you click in the order. And I only have one thing. So when I'm done, I click close. And normally it'll ask you to save it. And there you go. It says 1. It'll show this little yellow oval over each one. It'll say 1, 2, 3, 4 for however many times you click. You do not need to click on the push, the finished goods, transports. As far as I can tell, that's unnecessary. But here's the real final piece of LeanView. Once you get everything together, you have your giant value stream map mapped out. Map analysis report. And go ahead and click value path. You can have multiple value paths. You can say if you have different product lines, you can look at them all separately or together. We only have one little piece here, and it just goes crazy. It has a little Excel seizure here and throws up a whole bunch of calculations. There we go. This is half the time it's value add, half the time it's not. And we set that in the process box. Changeover time is, or changeover is automatically non-value added, but we have all these things down here, and I talked about it in my first critique of all the different things you can look at, but we're getting real results, and somehow it didn't take into account a lot of the different things. It just kind of looks at, oh, tack time, and here's your demand period. And if we look down here, projected demand, it just assumes that you use this up. It doesn't actually, there's no way for you to incorporate where that happens. So, and then here's your pieces that come out there, because it's just multiplied by your demand factor. You've got all, oops, too far. There we go. All of this normal production run, there we go. All this information, that's how you get it all to run. I strongly suggest that once you finish this video, go ahead and click over to the end critique of LeanView, and I'll kind of explain my thoughts about it.